I'm now going to replace the security light behind me with a GuardCam. If you've never seen a GuardCam before, it's like a traditional security light. There's a PIR on the bottom there that will illuminate once something is within the range of the PIR and it is dark, but it's also got a built-in camera. In this part you put an SD card. I think the maximum size is 4 gig. You actually get a 2 gig supplied with it. So you put that in and then you can turn that bit in any direction you like. Once somebody goes into the field of the PIR, the camera will actually start filming. If it's daylight, obviously it won't light up, but it will still film. These are a really cheap way of protecting your property. People think these are just a security light. They don't realise that they've got a built-in camera. The camera can be used for video, or it can also take stills, depending on what you set it to. You can also set the time and the date in this camera, so you always have that on the actual footage that you film. So we're now going to mount this up there. We're not going to put it in the exact same position. It's going to be slightly lower down and to the left of that one. So I'm just going to undo those 2 screws, and then we can lift that terminal out of there. That makes it a lot easier for installing the actual back plate. I'm just going to put this in the position where I want it, and then I'm just going to spot through the 2 fixing holes. I've now put some safety glasses on, and I'm now going to drill the correct size hole using this STS drill. I'm now going to screw the back plate in position. So this is the consumer unit, and you can see that the downstairs lights are clearly identified, but you should never take it for granted that that switch isolates all the downstairs lighting circuit. You always need to check. So we're just going to isolate that switch, and then once we've been to check that that circuit is isolated and we've proved that it is dead, we can then lock off the MCB using a lock off. So I can now put the padlock through there, and there is no chance of anybody switching that circuit back on whilst we are working on it. As an extra precaution, we're just going to put a label on there that says do not switch on. It's a good idea doing this if you live in an house where somebody may come in and switch the electricity almost you're working on it. I've now isolated the electricity, so we can now proceed with removing the old light. Before we touch any of the wires, we do need to ensure that they are dead using an approved voltage tester. So we're going to test that the test is working by pressing the auto test function. That is working. We're now going to probe between all the terminals that are in there, between the live and neutral, neutral and earth, earth and live. So we can probe all of the terminals in there, and you can see that they are completely dead. We now just need to check the tester, which is still working, so we can now safely work on this circuit. We can now strip off some of the outer insulation. I'm now going to hang the light off some scrap pieces of wire. This will take the weight of the fitting whilst we do all the connections in the terminal block. We can now just check that all 3 wires are tightly in the terminals as they should be. We can now lift it up, take the weight, take our wire off, just snip that off if we no longer need it.